Oh man, welcome everybody. Magdump Monday live stream. And if you didn't go to the range today, pull the trigger on something, shoot something, well, you definitely should have, because that means you're not exercising your Second Amendment right, which we all know is like the most important one. It gives all the other rights the teeth and gives you the right to defend yourself. An alienable right granted to you by your creator. If you don't have one of these, get it, study it. And soon, if you subscribe to me on Patreon, which is up and coming, you'll be getting one of these too. All right. What's up, everybody? I am super excited to be with all of you here this Monday, talking about all sorts of fun things to talk about, because quite frankly, there's a lot to talk about, especially after the debate. I've been away for a little bit. I was down in Quantico for some Marine Corps stuff, and me and a bunch of guys watched the debate. It was pretty freaking... We turned it into a drinking game. You know, we definitely turned it into a drinking game. How could you not? And we'll get into it. We'll get into it. But before we roll into it tonight, I'm really happy to see that there's already quite a few of you in here. And yes, the channel is monetized, which is awesome, because that'll help me afford more guns to show on the channel, because, well, I'm not, to put it this way, there's not a company giving them to me for free. Well, not giving them to me, but allowing me to use them at home at no cost anymore. So that's fun. But I'm still partnering with a few companies that might be slipping some things my way that you'll be seeing on the channel here very, very soon, which is pretty exciting. And companies you probably never heard me talk about before, which we might get into here in just a little bit. But I want to thank you and welcome you all to the channel for one of my first semi-routine, regular live streams. They will be coming often, and hopefully the audio and everything is all that good. Is everybody saying that you guys can hear me loud and clear? Looks like there's a lot of chats coming in and nobody's complaining just yet, so that's awesome. All right, hey, as I mentioned, I hopefully will be getting a lot of different comments and chats and all sorts of stuff from all the different platforms that I'm currently streaming to, including YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. Did I hit them all? Okay, maybe not Twitch. No, Twitch is up there. Yeah, all right. How could I forget you guys? Sorry. So hopefully I'll be seeing all you guys come through, and I'll be checking in on each one to make sure I'm not missing any of y'all comments there. But of course, the super chats, the super stickers, those will shine up nice and brightly, and I'll be able to see those. So thank you already to Lucky Dog Gaming, my very first super chat here on the channel. How exciting is that? During a live stream, that is. How exciting is that? Thank you so much. First super chat of the stream, first super chat of the channel, my man. Thank you. Hope you had a great holiday, Clint. P.S. Try Uncle Nearest bourbon next, and maybe I will. I am still on my 2A bourbon kick, as you can see, getting a little low. But there it is. And again, the channel's not sponsored by 2A Bourbon, even though they have sent me the bottles at no cost. I will say that. But I'm legitimately a fan of this stuff. And how could you not be? Second Amendment written right on the back. How freaking cool is that, right? So I am still on that kick with my neat little Henry Ben shot glass. Always a fan. So cheers to all of you tuning in. Cheers to my first super chat. That's super exciting. And man, I've missed you guys. So let's hop into it. I guess you can call it an opening monologue or whatever you want to say, but we all watched the debate, right? Or if you didn't, you did yourself a favor. But I feel as if at this point, if I'm going to be talking publicly about this shit, then I should probably be up to date on all of the nonsense. And so I watched the debate, as I said, with a bunch of other Marines, and we all got kind of a kick out of it. There were a couple of good one-liners from Trump. There was a couple of mumbles from Biden. And there was a whole lot of what the hell is going on. I mean, two old guys bickering about their golf game. That was really hopeful for the future of this country. But let's talk about specifically the Second Amendment and what's at stake with this election. Because as I'm looking at it right now, first of all, comment, chat it up. Do you think Biden is going to be on the ticket in November? I'm curious. I am very curious. Do you think Biden's going to be on the ticket in November? And with that, now that, you know, bump stocks have been, the entire bump stock ban and all that stuff was ruled unconstitutional. Imagine that. Thank you, Supreme Court. Supreme Court has been dishing out pro 2A victories left and right. Love it. And with that, though, Trump and the NRA did sign off on that. So, yeah, we know Biden's no fan of firearms, obviously, even though his son might be. And Trump put in more anti-2A legislation than a lot of recent presidents, including Obama. Think about that. So, concern. Much concern. That goes to show how important your local elections are, your state elections. So make sure you're getting involved there in your local community and all that type of fun stuff as well. All right. Okay. So obviously, you guys know how some of my live streams go. These are definitely more so discussions. I want to hear from you all. I want to voice a lot of your comments because, well, or voice, I guess you could say. Yeah, of course I'm voicing them. I'm talking to all of you here right now. So there you have it. So I want to hear from all of you. What are your concerns? And a little bit later, I'm going to be asking kind of what you guys prefer for the live streams. Are Mondays good for you guys? Fridays, Thursdays, Tuesdays, any other day of the week, all right? Preferably not the weekends because, well, I want to spend time with my family, as I'm sure you guys do, and maybe not see my face all the time, all right? But with that, I do want to hear from you all. And of course, you guys might be noticing some things that I'm wearing, which is super exciting. Big shout out to my fiance, who actually, that intro you just saw, she actually put that together. We had help with an outside editor as well. So Bryce, if you're watching, thanks for that, man. And Lex from Three Teeth, Lexus Mancala, awesome dude. He is the one, for a lot of you that have been asking, like, Clint, that song, that's so cool. He actually came up with that song, he and one of his other bandmates, and that is an exclusive Clint Morgan song. How freaking cool is that, dude? It's cool to have friends in those types of places. So, yeah, you guys might be liking the hat. You might be liking the shirt. The logo is something that I came up with Lex as well and my fiance. It's got a lot of symbolism there, which I might talk about at some point, but just know it means every little thing, everything from the Celtic ring, the little break down. I got to remember how to do this on camera. The little break down here, the C and the M, and it looks kind of like the mountains for obvious reasons about where I'm living now, and the two peaks for twins. You know, I'll get into that later, but it all means something. And for you all to be here and, you know, commenting how much you like it or dislike it, whatever, I don't care. But for all of you that are commenting how much you like it on Instagram and everything else, that is really cool and it means the world to me. And I'm seeing you guys light up the chat. So what do you say we go ahead and hop in over there? Oh, the reason I'm bringing up the merch, I want to hear from you guys also. Do you like this hat? Gray, American flag, never mind the hair. All right. It's been a long day. Or I wanted to do something completely different and go topography. A little bit of topo action, right? I thought that was kind of cool, kind of unique. You don't see a lot of topography out there for hats. So I figured, and it kind of matches the business card too. That, again, my lovely fiance, Kelsey, if you're watching, I love you. She's a freaking, she's a badass and I absolutely love her. So guys, get yourself a woman that supports you in that way. All right, now let's roll into it over here. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the super chats that are rolling in. And again, thank you guys so much. This is supporting me. This is supporting the channel and hell, even the family now. So thank you all so much. It means literally the world to me. We've already talked about Lucky Dog Gaming. Let's get over here to Hungry 40s. Good to see you. Think of getting Guard Dog level 4 plates. That's what's in my JPC right here. Level 4, the Ridgebacks. That's what's in my JPC 2.0, which, yes, I'll be doing a review over different body armor, stuff like that very, very soon, and different plate carriers as well. But I'm absolutely loving the JPC 2.0. They're pricey, but at the end of the day, it's awesome, and my unit in the Marines doesn't really care if I wear it. So you already know I'll be switching that out. All right, so there you have it. Thank you. Thank you, Otter, for it as well. Appreciate that. And Hungry, just to go back to you, you're investing in solid plates there. For the price and the testing that I've personally done on the Guard Dog plates, solid choice. You're going to like it. All right, we've got Joker 510714. Appreciate it. The reason I dove head over heels into firearms. Thank you, sir, for the 2A content. Love the work you do. That means so much, dude. Like, anytime I hear somebody talk about they got into firearms, they got into building guns, they got into doing this, that, and the other, so in one way or another, either exercising, supporting, or defending the Second Amendment is like, That's where my heart is. That's why I've joined Gun Owners of America. And by the way, if you're not going to Goals, which is GOA's first annual convention in Knoxville, Tennessee, August 17th and 18th, you should, because I'll be there, and I'll say the first 10 people that come up to me and say, Clint, you said it on your live stream, so I'll buy you a beer. All right. So be there at Goals, or be square, or don't have a beer, whatever. So there you have it. But yeah, Joker, thank you so much, man. That means the world to me. Absolutely. Tanner, dude, Tanner, you are ridiculous, man. Thank you. Tanner has been supporting, and dude, for well over a year now, right? Thank you, bro. Super chats. Love the new logo, man. Not sure if you mentioned it yet, but where can we get some merch? Coming very, very soon. Building up the shop as we speak it. And yes, Patreon. I will be doing a Patreon as well. That's going to have different tiers. And as you can imagine, it's going to be all about our rights. So for every tier, there's going to be different types of things that you get for subscribers and stuff. Like I said, just base tier, you're going to be getting a pocket constitution, and that's all there is to it, because everybody should have this. And it also has the Declaration of Independence in there, which is pretty cool. So again, I'll go into detail about that later, but thank you all. All right, let's see here. Artemis, meaning behind the new logo. I did talk about it a little bit here, but I'll break it down just a little bit. As I said before, the Celtic ring going around the CM. There's some symbolism there between freedom, right? Independence, things like that. The little break right down here means, kind of like breaking away. Again, being free, which is ironic, seeing how I just found out that New Hampshire has a view tax in their property taxes, where if you have like a nice view of the Mount Monadnock or something else that's around the area, they'll tax you for that. Even if there's trees blocking your view, you have the potential. This is what I'm talking. This is ridiculous. There's no income, there's no sales tax, but taxation is bullshit. It's theft. They can tax you on what you breathe. They can tax you on the rain. They can tax you for what you literally see. I'm pretty sure our forefathers, by the way, we just celebrated Independence Day. I'm pretty sure the same gentleman that signed, those 56 signers on the Declaration of Independence, pretty sure they'd be shooting by now. I'm just throwing that out there, all right? I digress. The C, Clint, that's me. Hey, what do you know? And then all of it put together, in my mind, family, which includes my Kelsey. She's going to be a part of the channel, whether she likes it or not. One day, you guys are going to see her on the channel, and you're going to see the life that we're building together and all the cool stuff that we're getting into, and the things that she's ultimately inspired me and got me excited about, like the horseback stuff, right? We went to Montana out there a couple weeks ago. I guess it was a little over a month ago now. That went quick. And we went out to the McGinnis Meadows Ranch, and I learned to do some cowboy shit, and I fell in love with it. And now I want to get my friend Drew Wallace to teach me how to do some shooting on horseback, which would require me to get a horse. So all of your super chats and everything are going to help me get a horse. Stay tuned. But anyway, and then of course, for those of you that don't know, I have twins. My fiance and I have twins, a boy and a girl, and the two little peaks, that's for them. All right. So there you have it. There's the meaning behind the logo. Thank you, Artemis. And with that, we've got Lucky Dog Gaming. Mad Dog Mondays has too good of a ring to it. It does, though. It does. To not be official, maybe sprinkle in a bonus Fuck It Friday. Stream now and then. I'll buy both hats as soon as they drop. Thank you. Appreciate that. We've got Mike Q. My only worry is Democrats won't lose fundraising and have to put up Harris and have to use the 23rd Amendment so she's the incoming president. Thinking about Kamala Harris being president is just gonna, that about sums it up. Does she have any original opinions or thoughts? And I'd rather hear Biden mumble than Harris cackle. It's nightmare fuel. They actually need to put that her clip, like a soundbite of her laughing over like a antagonist in a horror film. That's their sound. Terrifying, absolutely terrifying. It is concerning. The funding that the Democrats have are crazy. I mean, if you look at what's happening, though, there's actually been like a block. A lot of Democrat donors have actually stopped donating. Like one of the biggest ones is Disney. I think Abigail Disney. She's the main Disney now at this point. Imagine that. I'm pretty sure there's like 3 top donors for the Democrat Party have pretty much said if Biden's not pulled from the ticket, then they're done donating to the Democrat Party until they get somebody else on the ticket. Crazy. We've got Hungry 40s again. How do we know Trump won't do knee-jerk legislation like the bump stock ban again? And how ironic is it that Hunter is being charged for gun crimes? It's super ironic. That's why I kind of made the joke I did before about maybe Hunter being a fan of guns. But, my thought process is on that, too. I was on the Whiskey and Windage podcast not too long ago, and if you guys didn't see that, check them out. A little bit smaller podcast, smaller channel, and they are up and coming, and they've done a really good job at getting some good guests on there, and then just the 3 guys that are really running the show over there, just awesome dudes. Had a great conversation with them, and I made a point to say that I'm so pro-gun that I don't think Hunter should have been charged under these things, right? The 4473 at the end of the day shouldn't exist. It is actually an infringement, and we can talk about that at a later time. But just want to throw it out there. And yeah, how do we know Trump won't do another knee-jerk legislation like the bump stock ban? These things are practically turning your guns into machine guns. Dude, I feel like his son, who is, Don Trump Jr., who's pretty pro-gun, and, I think he was at like Silencer Co. or something, doing something with silencers and everything else. It's like, dude, talk to your dad. Like, maybe you know this shit, right? Or maybe he just acts like he knows this stuff and really doesn't, and he just tries to win that vote for his dad, I don't know. I don't trust anybody in politics at this point, except if Brandon Herrera would have won. He and I stay in, semi-regular contact. I would have told him, I'll keep my eye on you, but I still trust you and love you, bro. And but he definitely sent the establishment running down in Texas. So God bless Brandon Herrera. All right. With that, it's scary to think about either way that goes. Either president can do some anti-2A shit. So I'm saying, your elections, local and state, they matter. So get out there and vote. Let's see here. Jonathan Velez, welcome to New Hampshire. I escaped Mass 6 years ago, and I love it here. Live free or die, at least the most part. LL, tolls are steep. Thankfully, I haven't had to deal with too many tolls here in New Hampshire, but they exist. I know. And again, no income, no sales tax, but they're going to get you literally everywhere else, including that damn view tax that I talked about. And yes, the tolls that I do know about, but I haven't in my area. They're not all that prevalent. Thank God. But thank you, Jonathan, and glad you got out of Mass at least. Good Lord. Let's see here. Mike Schumann, I'm dealing with Michigan, but 11% bullshit is whatever else California, New York, or those other communist states. Yeah, that all sucks as well. So there you have it. Man. Whew. Fun times, man. I tell you what. So thank you all the super chats that are coming in and everything. Let's get over here to the live chat, talk with you guys. Brian, I got your 6. Got yours too, bro. All right. There's another Marine recently. He had the I got your 6 tattoo. So you can imagine the jokes that he and I had. He's also got my 12 and I got his 3 or something. I can't remember. But anyway, let's keep on going over here. Hey, everyone in Clint, I agree. Both these candidates are scary for different reasons. Exactly. And Dillygaff. Dillygaff, seen you before. Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. I could go for some cheeky nuggies. Just saying. All right. Those are good snacks for the show. Let's see here. Mike, you. Good evening, Clint. Clint Morgan, everyone from Minnesota. That's awesome. Haven't been to Minnesota just yet. Let's see here. Tank and Dimples. Thank you. I've been saying this and getting shit on by the GunTube community. You got to be. Don't worry about it. Keep being vocal about it. And all the pro-Trumpers out there, look, if it comes down to the lesser of two evils again, which I'm sure it will, then yeah, I'll take Trump. I'll definitely vote for Trump again. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be all that excited about it, right? But if it means getting in somebody that's truly anti-liberty, anti-2A, anti-your freedoms, our rights, yeah, I'm going to vote with the guy with the devil you know type of thing, right? And I'm not saying that Trump's the devil. I'm not saying he's like the worst, because he's definitely not. I remember the economy. I remember actually just world economy, the entire world environment, the atmosphere was better under Trump. We actually had peace, like that was pretty exciting. Just throwing that out there. Coming from a Marine, though, I mean, a little bit of confrontation isn't bad, but I'm also not a warmonger. And I really don't like it when Raytheon, Lockheed, and all these other military industrial complex organizations and companies and whatnot, get to cash in and make all their money. Yeah. At the expense of whose lives? Oh, that's right. Our sons and daughters and my peers and the Marines that serve under me. So yeah, I'm not too excited about that. I like peace at the end of the day. My very little ribbon stack shows that joining during peacetime. That's cool. But what are you going to do? There you have it, though. Keep on, though. That's all I'm going to say, man. Tank and Dimples, keep it up, man. Let's see over here. We've got Aaron Ballou. There it is. Cheers to everyone from Chandler, Arizona. Always faithful, always forward. Aaron Ballou. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. You are right, General Lee. They aren't as much at risk under Trump, which, by the way, having just been in Quantico, Virginia, went to Old Town Alexandria and all that, General Lee, I know he obviously gets shit on for being the Confederate general and all that type of stuff, but everything he did post-war to actually rebuild the country and repair the relations between the North and the South is actually very honorable. And the reason General Lee got into the Civil War to begin with is because, well, the government seized his land, which is now Arlington National Cemetery. So it's yeah, I'd probably be pretty pissed too. Just throwing that out there. But yeah, thanks for the comment. Appreciate it. You are right, though. They're not as much under as risk. All right. Let's see over here. Jessica Simp 44. Good to see you. Lock and load time. Yes, it is. And what did you say? He did want to ban suppressors, which is cringe. I know. So there you have it. Lucky Dog Gaming saying no one 2024. I feel you. Let's see here. You voting for Trump. Biden is a moron. Biden is he's just not there. And if you go back and look at, and you're right, he is a moron. If you go back and take a look at the questions that he was trying to grill Clarence Thomas on when Clarence Thomas was going through his congressional approval for being Supreme Court on the Supreme Court. Yeah. Look, I'm not as smart as these guys, right? But you could tell that Clarence Thomas was just you have no idea what you're talking about. Shut up, little man. I could hear Clarence saying that, So Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas. God bless that guy. All right. Let's see here. Justin is saying, sadly, the only person that would have been good dropped out. Vivek was definitely my favorite. So Vivek, kind of coming out of nowhere, right? He just didn't have any history. So I don't know if what he was saying sounded good, right? It sounded all really good. But what would he actually do? Right? Talk is great and all. Action is where it's at, right? Somebody can say all day yeah, and I'm going to actually put a different spin on this. Somebody could say, yeah, maybe the Second Amendment's, good, but their voting record has always been pro 2A. It's well, why would you, right? And then, of course, you have people that talk all the time. Oh, Second Amendment this, Second Amendment that, Dan Crenshaw. And then there's votes for red flag laws. Okay. All right. It's ridiculous. What are you going to do? So there you got. Let's see here. General Lee again saying definitely not voting for no one. No. And, at this point, it's voting. If y'all truly, again, the comment section, obviously, I think my comment section is going to have a little bit more of a right-wing bias, right? But I do want to hear from everybody. Do y'all don't even worry about commenting if you think this election was stolen, right? Because we're all pretty much assuming that that's right. Anybody that actually disagrees with that and thinks that this previous election was legitimate, comment. We want to hear from you. And if you think Biden should remain on the ticket and that's the guy you're going to vote for, why? Like, not anything anti-Trump. Give me the reasons why you think Biden should remain in office. I don't want to hear any ands, ifs, or buts about Trump in your response. I want what he has done that made you so much better off than you were, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. Like, legitimately, please. And I'm not here to be an asshole. I'm not here to belittle, degrade anybody. All I want to do is get an understanding as to why. This ought to be fun. So let's hop into it, all right? Let's see here, nursing home gel, right? Let's get on Scott. I got teeth. Talking about 3 teeth. Is that what we're talking about over here? Here we go. Magdump Morgan. Thank you. Pharaoh Beltran. Appreciate that. At least we've got Dilligaff. At least we have the Supreme Court doing good things to hold up the 2A. I mentioned that. Absolutely. That is great. We've got Jake over here. Clint, what's up with man? Clint, what's up, man? Jake. Thanks for joining in. What's up with you? By the way, is audio sounding good to you guys? I know last live stream it was a little. I adjusted some things, so hopefully that's working out. Brian Morgan, my man. Is this the Brian Morgan? Is that the Brian Morgan that I think it is? If it is, I love you. If not, I still love you. Thanks for commenting. Appreciate it. Let's see here. We've got Bort Forts. Good evening, all. Fitted my red dot to my rifle today. Awesome. What red dot? What rifle? Let's hear about it because I love hearing about your builds, which, by the way, I've been thinking about it. I want to continue weekly live streams. I want to hear back from you guys before I start saying anything about them being regular and weekly and all that type of stuff, like starting. I want to know what days work best for you. So if you're not following me, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and elsewhere because I will be putting up polls because I want to do everything for my channel that fits best for all of my supporters, which are you at home or wherever you are right now watching, which, again, means a great deal to me. So I want to do what works best for you guys. So live streams. What day works best? I just did the Donald Trump playing the accordion. And with that, also, there was something else. I'll think about it here a little bit later. Oh, yeah, the bust your builds. You know, I know a lot of people are still like, Clint, you got to do that. And I like the idea of not so much people emailing them in and all, but like, well, obviously, yes, you email them in. I will come up with that email at some point. But doing them live, which I think would be a lot of fun. So just, again, stay tuned. I'll figure all that out at some point. All right, great. Let's see here. Bass Player S5. What's up, Clint? I am doing good, man. What's up with you? This is good, too. Salvus, Chevron deference was overturned. Yes. So if you guys aren't familiar with the Chevron deference, look it up. Ultimately, what it's saying is that these different entities can't just make up rules and then all of a sudden they become not necessarily law, but enforced rules by federal agencies overnight. They actually have to go through a congressional vote, which a lot of people are saying, oh, great. So a bunch of people that don't know the specifics about this entity or whatever, let's say it's cars, let's say it's firearms, a bunch of people that don't know anything about it are going to be voting whether or not. Understand Chevron deference and getting that overturned is giving more power back to the people. Okay. How is that happening? Because now instead of it going to an agency, let's say, oh, I don't know, the ATF saying that pistol braces are no longer legal. Or they, not so much they're not legal, they just turn your SBR or turn your AR pistol into now a short-barreled rifle, which is a regulated firearm. Which means if you have a pistol brace, which was as of yesterday, by the way, this is all just to give context. If you have a pistol brace on your AR pistol yesterday, overnight, now today, it has become a short-barreled rifle. And unless you form forward it, you, good sir, are breaking the law and are a felon. So there you have it. Sorry, Form 1 did. But yeah, so with that, it's great. How is it giving the power back to the people? Because now the people that ultimately voted to put these other people in office, aka Congress, now have to vote on whether or not this rule can do this, that, or the other. Okay? Great. Hopefully that explains it pretty clearly, at least from my understanding. So anybody else that can break it down a little bit better than what I could articulate, light it up in the comment section, all right? But ultimately, it's a great thing. It gives more power back to the people, which, love it. We've got Raforda. Hey, there you are. Good to see you. Hey, there you are. Good to see you. Thank you. Appreciate it for being here. Thank you so much. We've got George Azar. Clint, I've been waiting forever for another one of your videos. Don't worry. My first video I'll be dropping very, very soon. I just want to make sure I get on a regular schedule. I don't want to drop a video and then all of a sudden to be like another month before I release another video. That's not fun for you guys. And quite frankly, it's not fun for me either. I want to get into weekly live streams, weekly uploads, and all that type of stuff. And I am right now putting a lot of my efforts into GOA and goals, which is, as I've mentioned earlier, GOA's first annual event. So obviously I want to support that and make sure that I can do everything in my power to make sure that it is a successful event. So that's where a lot of my effort is going into right now, but don't worry, regular uploads are coming very, very soon. Let me get back over to a couple of the super chats over here because I see them rolling in. And again, I want to thank you all so much for doing that because it means a lot to me. All right. Let's see here. Tesla Killdozer. I love that. Clint, loved your content at Classic Firearms. Looking forward to the content on your new channel. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Tesla Killdozer. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. All right. Hopefully. What does Marine stand for? My ice rides and Navy equipment. Thanks, Mike, for the super chat and making me laugh. That's great. And also, it's not wrong. For the most part. All right, there we have it. And then we've got Joker again. Thank you so much. California build, P365, California, and Mac DCN removed. X macro grip module is soon to be Radian Ramjet for CCW. That Radian Ramjet for CCW is pretty cool. I've always been a fan of the Radian Ramjet. So super nice loadout there, even though it is California. But hey, what are you going to do, right? Very cool. Thank you for that. And thank you for sharing because, well, guns are awesome. And I like to hear about what you guys are carrying and building out there. And it's a lot of fun. All right. Let's scroll down really quick. I'm going to be getting with you. Coming back and forth and all that type of stuff. Just want to make sure that I do get caught up with the chat to make sure that everything's streaming well and all of that type of fun stuff. Pattersaurus, Clint is really digging all the content with Kevin and Q. Are you playing any more content with them? Yes, I am. When? Good question. But yes, I am. I mean, they are pretty much in my backyard, so it will be cool to get over there and talk with all of them very, very soon. We've got Brian over here. What's your preference? These are always difficult, right? Honey Badger SD and 300 Blackout or the Maxim PDX SD. The Maxim's really cool. I do like it quite a bit, but I own a Honey Badger SD and do not own a Maxim PDX. So with that, I definitely am a fan of the Honey Badger, and I just, it's lighter. The first thing I remember about the Maxim and the Honey Badger without a can on it, obviously the SD is suppressed, but without a can, the basic Honey Badger it's god awful to shoot. That cherry bomb muzzle device is just, it's made to make you want to suppress it. Okay, that's all there is to it. The Maxim PDX SD, the PDX SD. I know I've shot it at one of the different shows during one of their range days. But I'm having a hard time recalling anything significant about it. I think I shot it. I think I liked it. And it was just like, okay, it runs. That's good. You want your gun to run. And that's about all I remember from it. So I might have to go back and look at some old footage and try to figure out what my thoughts were on it again, because it's been a while since I've shot it. It's only been a couple of days since I shot my Honey Badger SD. So a little bias there, if I'm being completely transparent with you guys. But, hey, at least I'm being honest. We've got Harley Breeze. Hi, Clint. My fiance, Clint, and I love watching your videos. Well, cheers. He's got a good name, all right? Oh, that went down the wrong pipe. Oh, God, now I look like a bitch on live. Okay. All right. So, Harley, thank you. Appreciate that. We've got Trent Laswell. Hey, Clint, thoughts on the Zev Core Duty? I don't have any personal experience with it, so I don't want to give any type of insight on something that I know nothing about. So nothing as of right now, but that's always likely to change. So ask in a couple of months to see if maybe I've got my hands on a Zev core duty. All right. Keith, looking forward to goals. Always good to see you, Keith. Appreciate that. And I'm glad you'll be there. That's super exciting. I am looking forward to hopefully meeting you and meeting quite a few of you for the first time. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And like I said, first 10 of you that come up, I'm like, all right, I'm buying you a beer. I'll give you my, I'll don't dox me. Or maybe I'll just flag your DM on Instagram or something. I'm not going to hand out my phone number to just anybody. All right. Unless, you've been watching for a while and I feel like we're friends, but that's most of you. So that's dangerous. All right. Anyway, but thank you, Keith. I'm really appreciating that as well. And I'm really looking forward to, like I said, seeing quite a few of you out there. Another one from Keith I saw here. I'm imaging Hunter getting his charges dropped for the 4470 way. Goes 3. Daddy won't be happy. Oh, imagining Hunter getting his charges dropped and the 4473 goes away. Could you imagine? Yep. Yeah, if the 4473 goes away. As for Project 2025, interesting. Now, before we even go any further, I haven't looked into all of this just yet. I know at the earlier of the stream, I was like, I should probably be familiar with all this type of stuff. This is one of these. My project is to research and study Project 2025 and figure out what the hell this is, because I've heard some great things. Should we worry about our gun laws with the possibility of being implemented if the Republicans win? Look, Republican, Democrat, any of them, your rights are at stake. That's why I'm so questionable about Vivek, because he doesn't really have a voting record, so I don't know exactly how he would vote on certain things. It's like, maybe that's why, running for your very first office being president isn't the best idea. But again, what he said was good, but I just have no action that, supported what he said. What are you going to do? And I saw the way he held a gun. It wasn't convincing that he was a pro 2A guy. All right. Just throwing that out there. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Gejekyll. Chevron, does this mean Congress will make the laws in regards to firearms? That's terrifying given the understanding of firearms by the left. They already make the laws. ATF doesn't make laws. Like I said, it's giving the power back to the people by giving it to the Congress members. So ATF can't just say, hey, pistol brace bad, no more, right? It would be something that needs to be voted on. And we should know how all this works, right? So bills, I'm just a bill, just go watch that. So put it this way, the Chevron deference, whatever. All I'm saying is it's a good thing that it got overturned. Okay. Leave it at that. Boom. And just understand Congress already makes laws. Like they are the law-making entity. So screw the ATF in that regard. Thank goodness. And every other entity out there that's just throwing on all sorts of different regulations and all that type of stuff. EPA. Right? There you go. Let's see here. Crunchy Taco 05, good to see you again, man. Thanks for tuning in. Tax cash grab. They could sit on these 2 fingers and spin. Yeah, there is that. And then we've got Tucci over here. He's speaking the truth. Absolutely speaking the truth. Thank you. We've got Monday's work for Greg R. By the way, some of you guys are saying buffering, things like that. I'm noticing it's a little bit older now, but just want to make sure I am streaming. I know some of you guys are complaining before. Should be streaming in a little bit higher definition, 1080p, something like that. The 720 I know just didn't look good. Man, we've gotten spoiled, right? 10 years ago, 720p would have been like, whoa, that's crazy. But there you have it. And this is what I'm referring to, all right? So TMC, Clint, what type of channel are you hoping to create? My own. It's not going to be, I'll do gun reviews. I'll do, thoughts and opinions on let's say like one video I'm going to have coming out is the Allen Engineering AEM5 silencer and that collar system on my Daniel Defense Mark 12. If I want to give you guys something really exciting, I'll say that right now I'm planning a video with a friend of mine who you have definitely seen before on the channel with me, or not on this channel, but on a previous channel that we all know what I'm talking about, down in Texas. And we want to compare some Mark 12s. You'll also see more manufacturer tours. And you'll also see kind of like a little bit of a vlog style of things, kind of a little bit of day-to-day type of stuff. So, yeah, you know, again, it's just my channel, which I think will be kind of fun for me at least. And if you guys want to tag along and, you know, follow me on this journey known as life, then let's do it. So that's the type of channel I'm hoping to create. And I hope it's entertaining for you guys, and I hope you get something out of it. I hope you learn. It'll be a learning process for both of us, because there's a lot that I've got to discover and learn, and I don't want to say perfect, but strive for perfection. And of course, that'll be different, taking different classes and recording those classes as well. So all of that is pretty much this, right? And something like what Crunchy Taco is talking about here, still waiting to see my poverty builds show up on Buster builds. So again, I'm thinking about doing the streaming and, you know, criticizing your gats, you know, blasting your blasters, if you will. That's a good one. I was talking to my buddy Monadnock Shootist on Instagram and YouTube, and at Monadnock Firearms one day, which, by the way, Monadnock Firearms, if you guys don't follow them on Instagram, they're solid people. Love them over there. They are now my home away from home. You know, I needed a gun shop to go to and be around all the guns and all the people that are pro 2A and all that type of fun stuff. So Monadnock Firearms, like I said, is my home away from home. And one of the guys over there, Jacob, you know, we were talking about different names for the live criticizing your gats, and, you know, blast your blasters, I thought was pretty good. So yeah, you know, I kind of like that, actually. That might stick. But yeah, and I will do that live, and so we can get the input from everybody here and my live reaction, you know, and that'll be pretty good, I think. So there you go. Bort Ford, this is my first firearm, and it's a SIG M400 tread. I grabbed a cheap Romeo 5 to begin with. Honestly, solid. The SIG optics I've always liked. They can have some questionable quality here and there, but the Romeo 5 I always had good luck with personally. And the M400 tread I think is a great base rifle. So I think you're doing good on that end. Awesome. AJ Marshall, be nice to see Mr. Guns and Gear collab with Clint. Yep. Mike is an awesome dude, and I would love for him to hop on the channel too. T Sims coming up with a not so optimistic comment. T Sims, sorry Clint, but Babylon will fall. You know, it's not a matter of if, right? But when. What is, you know, I think back to you know, the Thor movies. What is Valhalla? Right? I'm sorry, not Valhalla, but I'm drawing a blank. Crap. Where they all live, right? Or maybe it is Valhalla. I don't remember. But with that, it's the people. The people are ultimately what matters. What makes the United States of America so great? And it's the people, because at the end of the day, it's our founding fathers. It's the people. When I read the Declaration of Independence, and I read, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. All men, right? Like, it's beautiful. And that's what I think, that these people, they escaped tyranny. They escaped. They got away from big government and sought religious freedom and ultimately freedom in general. And they created this nation for the people, by the people. But what T-Sim is saying is true. So far have we drifted from for the people, by the people. I mean, AOC was a bartender, and now her net worth is 7 figures. You're not supposed to get rich in politics. You're not supposed to become this celebrity in politics. You're supposed to represent your constituents and do right by them. Career politicians that we've seen be in office for way too long. I mean, it's a joke. It's laughable. Look at our current president. So far have we drifted for the people, by the people, from for the people, by the people. And it is the people that ultimately make this country great. And yeah, it's a sad reality. So what are you doing in the meantime to make sure that you and yours are taken care of? And that's a lot of what my first video that I'll be dropping is going to be about. It's going to be about self-reliance. It's going to be about independence, liberty. It's going to be about, well, how do we survive? How can we be independent? How can we be self-reliant in such a dependent society? Again, that's a discussion to be had right here, right now. I got the time for it. Hope you guys do too. So comment down below. Without McDonald's, without the grocery store, without Target, how's the American population going to survive? Rough, right? So, yeah, tell me what you guys think about that, right? Jab Free McGee, that's what lobbying does. It makes them rich. They serve mammon, not the people. Yeah. Let's see here. Hey, Clint, any plans of collaboration with the Honest Outlaw? Never say never, right? So possibly I'll reach out. I think that would be pretty fun. And let's see here. Chillin54, we would struggle. I think we would struggle greatly if it truly became to an independent, like what you have right now in your home. Doesn't matter what that home might be, an apartment, a house, a condo, a townhome, whatever. How would you fare if lights went off right now? No electricity, no nothing, no communication. Are you set up for it? And it's one thing to have all the supplies, have the food, have the water, all that, but the knowledge of keeping it renewable, the knowledge of being able to actually hunt on your own and process that meat, the knowledge of being able to, well, sow a field, raise a farm at the end of the day to be able to sustain you. And this is where we are at the end of the day, a community built type of species, right? We rely on one another, which is why I'm saying all the time, get involved with your community, get to know people, get an idea about where their heads are at with this type of stuff. Are they so comfortable on relying on government for everything? And as gun owners, we should be the furthest away from that. That should be our little, just dipping the toe into independence there, because we now take it upon ourselves, that responsibility of our own well-being. It's amazing the type of power a firearm can hold. And I'm not talking about recoil. I'm not talking about your energy transferred on target. I'm talking about what it means to be a gun owner at the end of the day. It's big. It's more than just owning a tool. It's knowing how to use that tool in a manner that's going to, well, prevent loss of life. Think about that. That's big picture type shit. And it's scary for a lot of people. Hell, it's scary for me. I'll be honest with you. I'd be a damn liar to say I'd be well off if things just cut off right now. First of all, my live stream would end, and I'd be pretty pissed off about that because I didn't say bye to you. But foremost, how would I provide for my children? That's the number one thing to me. And that's why I've made some of the decisions I've made in my life. What are you doing, right? whew, we're getting spicy tonight. Like, we're getting into it. I like getting into this. Let's get deep. All right. Oh, man. Chillin' 54. Americans would be lost. We are spoiled in America. Facts. Skills are lost over time. Big facts. America 1776, different than today. Americans would go crazy over losing electricity, especially since these things are so addicting. Imagine the type of withdrawals we would see in society. And my job is social media. My job is this, right? Oh, man, that would suck. But at the end of the day, it might feel also like a big relief. So there you have it. Cowboy Clint, that's how. You're right, man. You guys might see me around this wearing these style hats all the time, but if I'm out in the yard, which I often am, you'll see me in my Resistol. I have a few of them now, and thankfully, it's actually my friend Matt with GOA also, which Matthew Patterson, awesome dude, buddy of mine. He's the one that turned me on to Resistol. I was looking at Stetson and everything else, but I like the Resistol hats. They just kind of speak to me for some reason. So got me a couple of those. But yeah, Cowboy Clint, cowboy it up, guys. Get out there, get your hands dirty. Go use a shovel or something. There you go. Caleb Yerkes, hunting was the first step that I made towards self-reliance. Water, food, guns, ammo, community, farming, and livestock are all the steps I took after. I'm working on it personally. Started with this way too expensive coop. Way too expensive. But it's awesome, and I don't have to worry about losing some of our animals to predators. Unfortunately, neighbors of ours lost quite a few of their chickens to a coyote one night, and I'm in the mindset of I wish a motherfucker would. I'm just telling you right now, I've got a perfect 0 from my bedroom window to the chicken coop with my Honey Badger SD. If I hear something trying to get to my chickens and my ducks, I'm gonna kill it. That's all there is to it. And if you see me with a coyote pelt hanging up in the back, you'll know what's up. Actually, that's probably illegal because, again, too many regulations in this damn country. Are we really free? All right. Let's see here. Blind Rocket. Hey, Clint, I dig your new logo. Thank you. Your initials, of course, but also some mountain vibes, and also reminds me of the Valk nut symbol. There's a little bit of that. A little bit, but not exactly what I was going for. But what are you going to do? Let's see here. Crunchy Taco 05 from Gilly Shooter. Remember, the flavor of meat is largely dependent on diet. Eat the vegans and vegetarians before they cave and eat meat. Jesus. Anti-government, be ungovernable. I love where this is going already. Sup, Clint Morgan, you're absolutely correct when it comes to Trump and Biden, when it comes to the Second Amendment. Thank you. Appreciate that. Again, these are agree or disagree. These are opinions, and then there's quite a bit that is just fact, like us being a completely dependent society. Like I said, it's nature for humans to be reliant on one another. We're community-based. That's fine, but we become way too spoiled, as was mentioned earlier in one of the other comments, way too spoiled. We had a couple more super chats come over here as well just a little bit ago, so let me get to those really quick. Thank you, Hungry 40s. Again, appreciate that. Have you tried Shadow Systems CR920 XP yet? Thoughts? CR920, yes. The XP, the CR920 hard, yes, definitely. I've shot that quite a bit, but the XP, I don't recall. So don't know, but I can speak to Shadow Systems. I know that every now and then there can be a little bit of a reliability issue, some stovepiping, failure to feed or failure to extract type of stuff. But that's not, from what I've noticed, more recent to be widely common. But with that, when you take something that's ultimately like a Glock design and you start cutting up a bunch of parts and pieces and everything else, you could run into reliability issues. However, a lot of my experiences with the Shadow Systems non-comped guns run great. Note what I said there, right? Let's see here. Tanner, again, thank you so much. Still need that 30K. Yeah. So if you guys don't know what Tanner's talking about, at Magdump Firearms, there is a BM59, which you guys know from when I was at Classic. I fell in love with the BM59 there. That Italian M1 Garand that's magazine fed and all the cool things about it. It's an awesome shooting gun. Absolutely love it. And what do you know? Magdump Firearms has one. Okay, that's not that big of a deal. Except it's $30,000. Now, why would a BM59, which you could get on the high end of $2,500, depending, right? Why would one be $30,000? It has a very special stock, which is cool, pistol grip stock, right? But more importantly, it's full auto. It's full auto, and I want it, and it costs $30,000. Do I pull with Magdump Firearms? I am friends with the guys over there to get certain guns that can be hard for other stores to get. They've got a pretty decent in with some of their distributors over there, but that doesn't mean that, you know, we can't look around or whatever else it might be. But yeah, no, they're great guys. And long story short, I still need that $30K. Yes, maybe one day. All right, maybe one day. Let's see here. Wardog08. What bag do you use for everyday carry? My everyday carry, I thought I would actually have it down here because my laptop's in front of me, because usually my laptop is in my everyday carry bag. It's actually my GoRuck GR1. I think it's the, I don't remember the liter, the size of it, how many liters it is at this point in time. It's the GoRuck GR1. That is like what I use for my overall everyday carry. If I need to go like bigger, you know, if I'm doing like overnight travel, stuff like that, then I'll upgrade to my Vertex. I would love to get the GR2, but these are expensive freaking bags at the end of the day. But my Vertex, is it the Gamut Overland, is what you guys might see me around in a lot. That one, I've got the Premier Body Armor sleeve in there, level 3A, which is pretty cool. So, you know, if I'm flying, which that's usually my overnight bag for flying, I can't have a gun on me in the airport. So what do I have? As close to a shield as I can get. So there you have it. But that's what I like to carry, mostly everyday carry type of stuff. All right. Let's see here. Best Kydex holster for big guys. Oof. Well, you guys already know that I love Alpha Mega Kydex holsters. You can use code MAGDUMP over there to get yourself a little bit of a discount. And there's a reason why I partner with a couple of these different brands or manufacturers like Henry and whatnot. That's because I truly believe in their products. I have a passion for what they do. And on top of that, one of my biggest things, customer feedback. Listen to the audience. Listen to their customers. Listen to their audience. And if they are willing to adapt, great. And that's what you see a lot of from these manufacturers that, like I said, I partner from. They make a quality product. I'm passionate about what they do, and they listen to their customers. That's big, right? So that's why I say Alpha Mega Kydex holsters. I'm actually not too sure about answering this question. Because I'm trying to think about like big guys. So I'm thinking still inside the waistband. But one thing that's really cool is they did partner with Body Armor Vent. And I've got one of the backings for it. So now this Body Armor Vent goes on the back of your holster and it keeps the airflow and all that type of stuff through there. So that's comfortable, but that doesn't really like help for big dudes, right? But yeah, if you guys can help, Filster Enigma. Thank you. That's another great one. Thank you, Tanner. This is why I love the chat, right? So the Filster Enigma is awesome. It's super comfortable. It works great. It's not so much like you don't need a belt to wear it, which is really cool. So this is great. And on top of that, the Alpha Mega Kydex holsters can integrate to the Filster. Bada boom, bada bing, it's a win. There you go. Check that out. I think you'll like it. There you go. Let's see here. We've got Harley Dye. Clint, I offered my service or help along your journey a bit ago. I appreciate that. Did you offer it here? Live stream? DM? Thank you. There he is, Monadnock Shoot Us. Thanks for tuning in, man. We're taking that BM59 out soon for sure. The owner of Monadnock Firearms might be nice enough to let us do that. Just hoping. I do have the 21 liter. Now that you're saying it out loud, Brandon, it's the 21 liter GR1, so it's a little bit smaller. If I were to do it again, I'd probably go the 26 liter because I could. Either way, the 21 liter is great for like an everyday carry type of thing, like I said. But 26 liter is good if you're going to be using it for a little bit longer travel. So there you have it. Let's see here. This ought to be fun. Sam Schultz, tell me you know nothing about firearms without telling me. Why do people still talking about SIG P220 issues from years ago? It's been rectified unless idiots don't have their guns sent back in. Because at this point, it's a joke, right? They had that reputation at one point in time. So what happens? Well, it gets kind of stuck, right? It's kind of like Kel-Tec and cocaine and High Point being cheap, right? Or it being, your Glock 40 problem solver. So, it just is what it is. And why do people, like, oh, you got a SIG 320. Oh, you better not drop it, right? Oh, you got a 1911. That's great. It won 2 world wars, but it's completely irrelevant today. There, I said it, right? So why? Because they can. That's why. That's all there is. That's all there is. Oh my goodness. Let's see here. Harley again. Yes, on the live stream. Oh, I appreciate that, man. But if you don't mind, for that type of stuff, yeah, feel free to DM me. Magdump_Morgan. I'm again Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Facebook, I'm not as active on Messenger and stuff over there. So just to be completely transparent, Instagram more so, Twitter a little bit more. Than Facebook at least. But thank you, Harley. I appreciate that. Ghost, hey, Clint, just wanted to say hi, but now I'm going to catch red snappers. That's cool. Thank you, Ghost, for tuning in. Thank you. Appreciate that. Best of luck on your fishing journey. Let's see here. Cody Harmoning, what's your opinion on T-Rex arms, holsters, and slings? I haven't really done much with their holsters, but I know he's been doing holsters for a long time. That was their bread and butter for the longest time. And I've heard nothing but good things about T-Rex arms and their holsters, and that they were quality, and that if there were any issues, that their customer service was on top of it. But I also never really heard of any issues. So there's that. Well, not a lot. But with that, their sling is cool. I've used it very lightly. And not enough to say that I would, take it to the end of time like I would these slings, Tech 10 slings, right? I absolutely love these slings, and they work really, really well. And in fact, I was actually just with Paul Bergman when I was down in Quantico, and he was showing me some new things that he was working on, which is pretty exciting. And I'm not going to say, because I can't remember if he told me I couldn't talk about some of the things or not. And since I know Paul personally, I'm not. You're lucky, Paul. But with that, let's just say he's got some pretty cool things coming. I absolutely trust these slings. In fact, I've got one of the wider slings now that a certain sniper group has adopted. I can say that. And it's a instead of a 1 1/4 inch thick, like what you see with this sling, it's actually a 1 1/2. So I like that for, well, as you can imagine, like a sniper group would want for a larger firearm that's going to have a little bit more weight to it. Dispersing that weight over a thicker sling is going to be a lot more comfortable and offer a lot less fatigue to the shooter. So I like that for certain setups that I have coming. Okay, there we go. Let's see here. Is the MCX Spear worth the money? Let me just say this really quick. Depending on where you're going, right? So there's different offerings of the MCX Spear at this point. One I can say is the MCX Spear, the one that's actually like the battle rifle, the 7.62 NATO or the 6.8 by 51, is a great rifle. It's an awesome rifle, but I did run into some issues initially. I think all those issues have been pretty much cleared up. Initially, there was the mag issue, right? There's over insertion of the magazine. Weird issue to have. And we tried it on multiple magazines, just throwing that out there. Like we tried it on a Min 2 mags, we tried it on Magpul mags, on Lancer mags, and we were running into issues all over the place. And SIG did take care of that. Obviously, we put out a video about it. But at the end of the day, the SIG Spear, as I know it now, it's pretty freaking awesome. So the rail on it's kind of thick, right? But yeah, what are you going to do? So do I think it's worth the money at the end of the day? Yeah, it is worth the money, but personally, I'd probably spend that money elsewhere. Where? Honestly, getting some nice night vision at this point. That's what I want. I want some decent night vision. So if you guys know anybody that might be looking to get rid of some dual tubes, I'd like some PVS 31s white phosphor. Just throwing that out there for, you know, a couple $100. Yeah, right. Let me know. But this is a great one because Josh Taylor's wanting to know, is it worth buying an LWRCI DI? And 110% yes, it is. For the price, you're getting an awesome gun, awesome platform, love the controls, love everything about the LWRCI DI. Yes, it is definitely worth buying that gun. Let's see here. Justin Howe, good to see you, man. Justin is also a guy that I run into at Monadnock Firearms pretty regularly. So, Justin, good to see you, man. People don't realize how little 90% of LEOs train with their service weapons, and 99% of the P320 discharges were NDs. Don't at me. I mean, look, if I could combat this, rebuttal this, I would. But I'm the first to say, just because somebody says, oh, I was a cop, oh, I was in the military, I know what I'm doing. Nah, dude. Most cops don't draw their weapon except for the once a year that they got to qualify. And that's dependent on the agency, right? And I say agency, that's depending on the department. And most military, honestly, same thing. Qualify maybe once a year. Or they have a gun in their hands, and that's just because they were told by their leadership to take it out into the field and then clean it a bunch and get rejected at the armory a bunch. That one might have been personal, but what are you going to do? So I absolutely agree with Justin here, how little training goes into law enforcement and these different NDs that were happening were because, well, a lot of these guns, well, look at the 320. Where's the safety? It's internal. There really isn't one at the end of the day. And it takes training and practice to get good with that. You know, a lot of people are going to look for, you know, like a Glock, you know, the trigger safety. You're going to look for an actual frame mounted safety or a slide mounted safety, depending, right? 320, keep your finger off the trigger. There's my safety. Eric Bana, Black Hawk down, you know, there you go. Let's see here. Be Strong One, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it. Hey, Clint, ready to buy my dream upper. It's either the Rahi, nice, or the SR15. Already have the Mars lower. Thoughts on your Rahi? I like it a lot. The only thing that I wish, it's not behind me, it's in my safe, is that the rail was a little bit longer. Other than that, or I would just cut down the barrel. Like I think a 12.5 would be awesome in that system. Just throwing that out there. But it's a 14.5 that I've got pinned and weld, and I love it. I love the way it shoots, love the way it feels. I love the Rahi upper. So that, of course, is LMT for everybody that might not know. So yes, but it's a short rail. I'd like a longer rail. That's my only criticism. Let's see here. Keith, I don't know. Shrike belt fed upper. Oh, I know that. Who was that company that made the belt fed uppers? Fight Light. That they are still doing theirs. So at least I think they are, right? I don't know. You guys tell me. But yeah. This is funny. So Justin Squires want to know, why is the RC3 so much money? I think there's some reasoning behind that, and you might not like it, but this is my justification as to the pricing of the RC3. Does that make it justified? Personally, no. But let me go ahead and explain to you why I think the RC3 is so much money. Having intimately been involved with Surefire and the releasing of the RC3 and having an understanding as to what went into developing and designing the RC3, I think a lot of what you're paying for obviously isn't the materials, but a lot of that research and development, which there's a justification for the price coming from a Surefire mindset, coming from a consumer mindset. If you put that much research and development in it, why does it shoot a fireball out of anything Surefire that's a war comp? That being said, having used it on 11.5 BCM at night, like pitch dark night up at Ridgeline Defense, shot great, loved it. But again, that was not on the war comp. The 3-prong, I think specifically the 3-prong QD muzzle device. That's it. Don't get the war comp. That's probably the best muzzle device to go with the RC3. Because as soon as that thing dropped, people were like, oh my God, it's got just sub of a $2,000 price tag. Add on the $200 tax stamp, and now all of a sudden you got a war comp because that's what you've been running, right? And you get lit the hell up in low light with that fireball. I know. But there you go, one RC higher, which, a lot of people are like, oh man, I bought the RC2 and they just dropped the RC3. Look, RC3's got the flow through technology, all that type of stuff, reduced back pressure. It's awesome, right? I can't say flow through in that because, name patents and stuff. But they have the reduced back pressure, which is great. And that's one big selling point, right? But there's a lot of other cans that are going, the market's going that direction. There's a lot of other cans that are more affordable that are doing ultimately the same thing. Great. Okay. And they have an open hub design. So you don't have to use a proprietary muzzle device. It's almost like Huxworks, so listen to the people. With that, but I will say this, though. For those that have bought the RC2, and you might have some buyer's remorse because the RC3 dropped, don't. The RC2 is one of the most proven and toughest silencers ever made, and I will never get rid of mine. I love my RC2. It's a heavy boy, but that bitch runs. All right? So be proud of your RC2. Cherish it, love it, go give it a kiss. Just not when it's red hot. That would be bad, all right? But here we go. Let's see, gotta make more of that contract money. That's there is that, I guess so. Let's see here. Going back to the law enforcement talk, shish kebab. That's funny. Totally agree. Every time I'm at the range, the LEOs can't hit the far side of a barn. What are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? This is a good one. Vinny Martin Jacko. Best LPVO for the money currently. I'm actually not too up to date on the market right now. I've got to get back into it, but I still think some of the Leopolds that have dropped recently, I have yet to find a Leupold that I don't like. And I'm talking super budget Leupold to the super high end, which the only thing I don't like about the super high end Leopolds are, well, they're freaking expensive. But Leupold, I think, probably makes some of the best optics there is, hands down. And you can find them for a great price, right? You can find what you're looking for. So I would look there. If you're looking for something truly budget friendly, Vortex has options, and of course Swamp Fox, and both of which these manufacturers, from my personal experience before I was even into the industry or anything, Vortex was awesome. I had an issue with the red dot. I had a new one within a week, right? That their VIP warranty thing. Swamp Fox, knowing the guys personally over there and a lot of the people that I've talked with on social and everything else, I think I've heard one thing where something wasn't right, but I don't know about the whole story, right? So it's like, you hear that Swamp Fox didn't take care of something. From one individual, I've ever heard this. And it's like, okay, but what happened? It's like, did you... I don't know. I can't answer what happened. Somebody just told me, well, they didn't take care of this for me. Okay. But everybody else I've talked to about Swamp Fox is, yes, they're budget. Let's be honest. But I've got some of their like first focal plane optics and things like that I've been trying out just to see like, hey, you know, for that price, getting a first focal plane optic out to like 24, you know, magnification, whatever. It's like, is it any good? And yeah, it seems to be holding zero and doing great. So it's like, all right, I mean, $500 for a first focal plane optic with that type of magnification is pretty freaking sweet. As long as it, you know, stands the test of time, and I'm not gentle on anything firearm related. So it's like, yeah, you know, we'll see. And nothing's broken yet. So, I mean, that's great. Let's see. Your Shish Kebab is also wanting to know thoughts on the Canik TTI, overpriced. You know, I've held it. I actually haven't even shot the gun. I haven't shot the Canik TTI. And, you know, it's impressive to look at. But a lot of the feedback that I've been getting, and look, this is a lot of the feedback that I have personally been getting from people that have shot the gun, people that even own it. It's like, yeah, I own it because why? It's an affordable TTI. With that being said, they're like, but honestly, I could have bought a regular model Canik and pimped it out and saved a couple $100. So, I don't know. You guys tell me, what do you think? Keith Decker, simp, just don't mix temps. Jessica, simp again. I don't see any of my great contents being read, just my random little comments. I'm sorry. I see that happening like right back to back. You guys crack me up. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. Let me scroll back. Let me see. Jessica simp, where are you at? Let me find one. I'm looking. My great comments are getting overlooked. See, these are the ones that I'm seeing now. Comment your great comments. Don't comment the little ones, because those are the ones that I'm seeing for some reason. I don't know. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. And just to throw it out there, super chats help. Speaking of which, there are a couple more of those that came in here. So we've got Tanner again. Tanner, dude, I swear, man, thank you. Thank you so much. Hence on your new lever guns or new caliber we talked about. Yeah. So, like I said, there's still some works in progress over here. But, you know, I'm wanting to ultimately build out a staple lever gun. Like, let's be honest. Everybody knows about me and the Mark 18. I want there to be a lever gun that is almost that iconic. It's going to be hard to beat because that took years in the making with the Mark 18, obviously, which is still an ongoing joke. You know, people still talk about it in the farewell video that Classic put up with me and everything else. And it's like, it's funny. But I want to get a lever gun to that point because I still believe in lever guns and that they absolutely have a place, like bolt action rifles as well. But you can cycle a lever gun a lot faster, right? So there's reasons, okay? So with that, I'll get into this a little bit later, right? I'll get into this a little bit later, not like tonight, but later in time to talk about some of the lever guns and upcoming projects and things like that. But the direction I'm going with it is, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. And I'm going to make like some sort of badass 4570. And I love my all-weather 4570, don't get me wrong. But I want something obviously like, you know, suppressed. Do I want it to be like tacticooled out? No, not like crazy, you know. But we are talking modern lever gun, all right? So just stay tuned, Tanner. Stay tuned, all right? Thank you, man. Be Strong One again, thank you so much. Hey, Clint, ready to buy a Dream Upper? Oh, I've already got that one, thank you. Appreciate that. And then best iron sights from Mike Schumann. Best iron sights for the money. I do love the CAC micros. I think the CAC micros are awesome. I'm also a really big fan of the M-Bus Pros by Magpul. Really big fan of those as well. I do like, let me see, trying to think about some of the sights that I currently have. The ones that are on my LMT, those, I don't know what the price are on those, the LMT iron sights, but I can tell you that I am a fan of those. And okay, I got to get to this. because I see it. Thank you, Mike, for that. Hopefully those answers are sufficient. Jessica Simp, there it is. Got it. About Jessica's favorite gun. It's the classic and original Colt M4 used in her USO tour to sing for our troops back in 2005. So what is it with your infatuation with Jessica Simpson? I'm just curious. Right? I just want to know. But, all right. So with that, though, you got to love a Colt M4. Right. Speaking of Monadnock Firearms, they actually had a couple of the law enforcement, military-only Colts. Law enforcement, that shit cracks me up. Those things are cool. They're 11.5-inch, and they've got those like super hard to find rails on them. They've got like the lightning cuts in them, but they're for cooling, the venting cuts, whatever you want to call them, and awesome, just super cool. So those are really neat. Additionally, I just want one, and that's why I brought that up. But Colt M4s are awesome. I love them. Let's see over here. Going back, yes, Mad Pig, Aaron Ballou. Yeah, the Mad Pig custom stuff. They take your the latest John Wick movie, right? That the dude that was running the lever gun, that was a Mad Pig Customs. And so it's just really cool stuff that they take, like from Marlin and Henry, and do all sorts of neat things, right? Lever action is for hunting in thick brush. Yeah. Makes sense, right? So there you go. I'm the chest. Hey, Clint, enjoying the live stream. Have you tried any of Bull Armory's lineup? Not yet. Big underscore or underline for yet. I'm really excited about that. Probably one of the smoothest actions I've tested. Yeah. So I have heard. Man. Let's see here. First of all, Tact a Squirrel. Thank you. Thank you for being here. That alone means a lot. I appreciate you for tuning in this Monday night. Brian is saying TTI Canic Combat is trash. Got mine for a YouTube for $800. Sold it within 2 weeks and 500 rounds later. Yikes! All right, I haven't heard that it's trash. Why? Like, what makes it trash? What like reliability issues? Like, or did you just like tell me, please? Goodness gracious. Are staccatos overrated? Natural season. You know what's really funny is I've been in this industry for years now. I've never actually shot a staccato. There, I said it. I've never shot a staccato. So are they overrated? I can't answer that. Are they expensive? Oh, yeah. That's for sure. So, I don't know. You guys let me know. What do y'all think? Everybody I know that I talk about with Canic, though, is like pretty awesome. So, yeah, there you go. Pew Pew Daily, good to see you, bro. Canic TTI means John Wick is going broke. Look, if anybody at Century is watching, Adam, I love you, by the way. I just want, if anybody at Century is watching, this is the feedback from the people, all right? I haven't even shot it yet, right? And do I want it? I do want it. I do want it. I want to try it, but, we'll see. Let's see here. Before I answer this question, okay? Before I answer this question, I just want it to be known that you will hear me mention Palmetto State Armory. And Eli Yek is wanting to know, will I be buying the 308 by PSA? And the answer is no. No, I will not. And I'll give you the reason why. It's already in my safe. I do have the Super SAS, and you will be seeing content on it very, very soon. Do I want the original, like their Saber M110 SAS, not the Super? Yes. So will that be something I'm picking up too? I don't know, maybe, right? But I just figured I'd let you guys know. All right? All right. There we have it. Cheers. All right. Clint, want to come shoot mine? You are invited. Oh, well, that's good to know. Thank you. Appreciate that, Chevy Jim. Thank you so much. Plot twist. Right? There it has. Let's see here. Hint, hint. Honest Outlaw loves staccato. And if there's one thing to be said about Honest Outlaw, it's that The man's honest. You got to appreciate that, right? And value is also subjective to each person. Halcyon Draconis. Did I just summon something or cast a spell? But value is subjective to each person. You're absolutely right. Here we go. Yep, Sig, sweet and sour. PSA. Patriot Tony, PSA rocks. Here comes the PSA love. So I want to hear from you guys, right? PSA, where's it at? Where's it at in your books, right? Like, what can I say about Palmetto State Armory? It's similar to like what I'll say about Anderson Manufacturing, is that, look, they might offer some really budget-friendly stuff, but at the end of the day, they're getting people to exercise their Second Amendment rights, and I'm really a big fan of that. I do like that, right? Now, as long as that shit runs and it works, cool, we won't have any issues. So stay tuned, all right? But there you have it. Additionally, there are some things, too, that some people might say about PSA, which, I'm going to save that for a later discussion, because it's already, I told my fiance about an hour and a half, and if I keep going down this rabbit hole, we're going to be here for at least another hour. So next time, ladies and gentlemen, all right, there we go. Jessica Sent, 44, got it. What makes me love the game COD 4 is that I've watched Mr. Ahoy's video on the history of COD 4 and how it changed gaming forever. Where did this come from? But also, I do like COD 4, so. It's been a while since I've played any games. And it's funny how having kids, your priorities in life super change. So having time for video games now, I've got 10 birds I'm taking care of. 2 dogs, 1 cat, 2 kids, and a fiance. And living things that I'm responsible for, that number is probably going to go up. Some of you are probably like, those are rookie numbers. Yeah. Now, in what context are we talking? We'll get there. Pew Pew Daily. Dude, it's always so good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. By the way, are you going to be at Goals? You better be at Goals. If you're not going to be at Goals, you better be at Goals. That's all there is to it. I'm pretty sure I can hook you up with a range day and a media day. Just saying. All right. Just got a DD5 V3 16-inch 308. Nice. And I picked up a used DD5 V4 18-inch 6.5 Creedmoor upper for it too. I'm freaking pumped. You have every right to be pumped. That's super exciting. And maybe we do a little comparison, you and I, a little Super SAS PSA versus DD V5. I'm just saying, I think that'd be pretty fun. So let me know. Todd Michaud, do you have any experience with the MCX regulator? Opinions? Yes. What I think about the MCX regulator is that it's ultimately a solution to those that are in the unfortunate, less free states of America to be able to get something pretty cool on their hands. And if they go to a free state, they have some interchangeability of parts with the regular MCX. So you've got some pretty cool things happening there, which I think is neat. So the MCX regulator, I do have one. Yes, I will be doing a complete video on it, so stay tuned. All right. Let's see here. Tanner, again, dude, you're going to pay my mortgage this month. Thank you. You get me a Bull Armory TAC 5 and I'll give you $100. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. That sounds about fair. Thank you, Tanner. I appreciate you, man. Yes, Salvis says PSA. Let's see here. What do people mean? Corey Skoronik wants to know, what do people mean by overrated? Is overrated an overrated word? No, I think it means pretty much what it means. That quite a few things can be overrated. Somebody puts their name on something and now all of a sudden it's better. But what really went into it, right? Overrated. So, yeah, I think overrated means overrated. Thanks, Corey. Appreciate the comment. CPU Geek, what's up, dude? With the government moving to longer range engagements, why are we not looking harder into the Mark 12 platform? I think because they're looking at the ballistics of the 5.56 and finding its shortfalls, which are, let's be honest, quite a few. And that's why the whole new caliber of 6.8 by 51 is being implemented. That's why the caliber of 8.6 Blackout is something to be looked at closely, and why the military, I do believe, is testing some 8.6 Blackout there. So, it's pretty interesting, because if you can get greater ballistics out of a shorter barrel, that seems like a pretty good deal to me. Right? So if you're able to deliver the same type of impact that a 45 ACP would be at point blank at 1,000 yards out of a subsonic cartridge, yep, sign me up, coach. Hello, boombox. So there you go. But the Mark 12 platform is excellent. I love it, right? And for those of you that are probably already wondering, you guys know how much I love my DD Mark 12. There might be another Mark 12 from a manufacturer that we've talked about. So there you go. All right. But yeah, so there you go. Let's see here. Mike Birkland. I lived in the day before cell phones, internet, and social media. I did too. I mean, I was young, very young, but I totally remember it. I remember the all that stuff, dial up and everything else when it first came on. I remember the landline, like, hey, get off the phone so I can get on the internet and I am my friends. Yeah, I remember all that stuff. And I remember playing in the woods with sticks and meeting my friends on bikes and stuff like that. Not on a headset, which is still cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating by any means, but yeah, I get what you're talking about. But anyway, would go back to that day over current gladly. Just saying. Thanks for everything you do, Clint. Have always enjoyed your views. And quite frankly, even though this is how I'm making my living now, yeah, I think I would too. Quite frankly, I think I would too. So there you go. Let's see here. John Sutton. I personally think 2,000 plus for a 9mm pistol is ridiculous. Staccato blah. Give me a bare Glock over almost anything. Ooh, strong words coming from John. Will a $2,000 pistol make you shoot better? Well, I feel like that is the makings of another video. Base Glock versus, we've done, base Glock versus Gucci Glock. I guess I haven't done anything on my personal channel. So this is it's all new to me, right? New to the channel, I should say. It's not exactly new to me, but new to the channel. So yeah, I think that would be pretty fun to actually kind of talk about that. Run a multitude of different drills with different pistols and see how you perform. And I'll tell you right now that just because it costs more doesn't mean it's better at the end of the day. Secondly, just because something costs more and might also be better doesn't mean you're a better shot with it. So yeah, you just got to find what works for you. But additionally, it would be a fun subject to do a video on. All right. Let's see here. Cody Blees. What's up, Cody? Good to see you, man. 2A ways. Was it just that PSA or Classic's competitor that made y'all never really mention them at Classic? Was always a theory of mine. Yes. That's the answer. There's nothing wrong with that, if you ask me. And I did say a couple of times, like, look, at some point, maybe, we could try to figure something out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's see here. New Hampshire, your thoughts, Travis Mack. I love this state. Don't really care too much for some of its politics, but its gun laws are better than North Carolina, which is funny because I'm in New England. But I also, I love the beach, okay? I love the heat. But I really like being able to go out and spend all day outside, like in my jeans, button-up shirt, cowboy hat. And as I was doing this afternoon, shoveling sand into the coop, so that way it doesn't smell as bad and it looks better and it's a little bit more comfortable for the birds. And I wasn't completely dying from heat and humidity. So there's that. However, there's these things like, dude, we had ticks down in North Carolina. but the ticks here are terrible. In fact, I personally know somebody up here now that, got like Lyme disease or like allergic to red meat, and that terrifies me because I love me a good rare filet and hamburgers and meat. So yeah, the tick thing kind of like is shitty. But there's that. And also up here, up this far north, they have this stuff called snow. So that was exciting because I love snow, and so does my Forerunner. And that was a lot of fun for me. So there you go. Justin is also saying, I think we're going back to the LPVO talk, Trigicon. Justin, for those of us that have to take into mind budgets, Trigicon is awesome, don't get me wrong. But for the money, I mean, you're talking like $2K for an LPVO, right? Depending on which one. I get it. But I will say Trigicons are awesome. I am absolutely in love with the VCOG, but I will tell you it's damn expensive, right? So there you go. Let's see here. Getting back to a few more. See a couple of good ones you guys are saying. You said it, Dad, my man. Man, you guys are, it's me, Max. I feel like sometimes I miss some of the conversation, and I'm like, where did I go? What happened? But I see Mark 18, so obviously we're going to pick on this one. Blind Rocket, as a fellow Mark 18 fan, do you have love for the new Riz 3 in the same short boy configuration? I don't actually have a R3 Riz 3 short boy configuration, unfortunately, right now. But I do love the R3. The R3 rail, I legitimately think it's actually called the R3. I think a lot of people are just calling it the Riz 3, which it's fine. But I do have the DDM4A1 R3, which does have the Riz 3 rail, the ambidextrous controls and all that. And I love that rifle. I love how it shoots, love how it feels. It's a 14.5 pin and well with the Huxworks QD. And so I shoot my Flow 5.56 on it all the time. And that gun is just crisp. Love how I got it set up, and it is definitely one of my favorites. So I do love the R3 rail. It's ultimately got the same rigidity, same integrity as the Riz 2, but M-LOK, which is great, So it's a little bit lighter, which is cool. But yeah, there you go, This might be cool for a second channel, if I go that direction. We'll see. Caratan87 is saying Magdump Ranch. We'll see. We'll see. It's a lot better than Ram Ranch, I can tell you that. Let's see here. Budget can. So, did y'all hear that? That was a good one. Budget can. Probably my favorite can on the market right now that I don't even own is the Ventum series from Huxworks. For the price, user serviceability, open hub design, still flow through, lighter. It's great. Probably one of the best. Granted, I am actually a really big fan of Q's cans as well. The Trash Panda is awesome, and it is a great can. I like it a lot. A lot of people are giving it shit for like the welds and all that type of stuff. But it's like, dude, it's just the can being put together. I don't know. There it is. So you guys tell me. But let's see here. No, well, okay. Mark is wanting to know, did Clint hit on another child coming? So, I mean, not like that. There's no. No. All right. Not right now, at least. Not right now. No. All right, let's see here. Gio, good to see you, bro. Where is this Goals taking place and when? So Goals, the Gun Owners Advocacy and Leadership Summit, GOA's first annual convention, is taking place in Knoxville, Tennessee, where at the Knoxville Convention Center, it is illegal to conceal carry, except at this event. In true GOA no-compromise fashion, GOA has negotiated lawful concealed carry to be available, offered, legal to anybody attending Goals. How cool is that? Again, I said lawful concealed carry. So take in Tennessee, laws, reciprocity from different states, things like that. Lawful concealed carry at the Knoxville Convention Center for Goals. August 17th and 18th is when it's open to the public. And of course, free for GOA members. Family friendly to the max. There's going to be a lot of like kids play areas, all that type of stuff. Really excited soon. to be announcing more of a youth-centered focus that I've had my hand greatly dealt in on this part from GOA, which I'm really excited about. So you'll be seeing that as well too. There you go. Ooh, here, this is spicy here. Mike Schumann, PSA is trash and their customer service sucks. Well, you know, this is one thing about getting a little bit more known in the industry and the community is customer service can be, if I have a problem with something, and this is just the reality of the situation. If Grantham, if Mr. Guns and Gear, if Guns and Gadgets, if anybody has a problem with something, most likely the manufacturer is going to want to try to correct it. Because why? Because they have a following. And that's kind of bullshit, if you ask me. And this is why, again, I like to partner with certain companies, because they, across the board, are the same. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how many people you got following you. They treat everybody as if they got 2 million subscribers, okay? Make up your mind if you think that's a lot or not. Doesn't matter. But that's what I think makes a lot of different companies special. That's why I think local gun shops are so important as well, right? Because this is the place you go if you want to find out, you get your hands on something, you find out if you actually want it or not, right? And then what sucks is you've got other, let's just be honest, retailers, things like that might be becoming like the Walmart of the gun world, that are hurting the mom and pops, where you actually go to get your hands and feel for something, and then you go buy it online at a lot cheaper, whatever it might be, because they don't have the overhead costs that your local gun shop does. But without the local gun shop where the gun needs to go to get transferred, what are you going to do? So support your local business. And if they have extremely ridiculous prices on stuff, tell them. And if they treat you like a dick, then yeah, maybe they deserve to go out of business, quite frankly. But if they say, hey, thank you for that feedback, we'll take a look into that and see if we can negotiate better prices from our distributors or something along that line, like, that's respectful. That's something that I would say, okay, I do business here, right? Might just buy a box of ammo just to support them or something. Or buy a gun anyway, because you deserve it and you should treat yourself with another gun and support and exercise your Second Amendment right. So there you go. Anyway, but I'm not hating on PSA in that sense, or maybe I am. I don't know. All I'm saying is I've had good and bad experiences with PSA before I was in the industry. Okay, as far as actually shooting any of their products or anything, I don't know yet. So stay tuned. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, there we go. Well, and we're going to keep going with that. Salvus Clint, Clint is free. Let's go PSA reviews. We'll see. Let's see here. Pew Pew Daily. I'm hooked up on the range and media badge stuff. Got hooked up on the not hooked up on the travel expenses yet. We also see I'm still trying to make it happen to get to goals. I'm hooked up. All right, good. Cool. Awesome. I hope to see you there, bro. I really do. It's always good running into you, man. Let's see. Knights of Sin. BCM upper / arrow lower. A tell as old as time. It really is, right? Oh man, that's too funny. Let's see here. Sorry, when I see my fiance text me, it's like, okay, are the kids okay and everything? And no, it's a friend of hers saying she's watching the live stream. So thank you for watching. Love you guys. Julia, Rich, you guys are awesome. Can't wait to see you guys soon, by the way. So it's really cool when friends, family, stuff like that tune in. Makes me feel good. And then all of you currently watching right now, almost 400 of you right now, chilling on this Monday night, which, by the way, it's been how long? I said an hour and a half, and it's an hour and 43 minutes. It's y'all's fault. Kels, don't get mad at me. It's their fault for still talking to me, okay? So let's see here. We've got another super chat coming in. Thank you so much, Mike. Appreciate that. Radiant ADAC build coming up. That's solid. You're going to love that. 110% you are. All right. Truck gun optics. So Patrick Snyder's got a really good question here, because in my mind, a truck gun needs to have something that's pretty much always on, kind of like your bedside gun, right? Shake awake technology is great. Obviously, it's been proven to work pretty well. It's pretty reliable. I feel good about that type of stuff. So, there you go. but I also like a co-witness. So just in case shit happens, and let's say my red dot, my holographic, whatever, isn't on for any reason, guess what I have? You guessed it, iron sights, right? So with that, I also like the idea of having something tough because, well, if it's in my vehicle, it's probably going to get banged around, taking it in and out, whatever it might be. So it needs to be tough. I am cool with the idea of a holographic. Noted, though, you need to stay on top of the batteries. The battery life on a holographic is nowhere near as long as the battery life on, let's say, a red dot, right? Obviously, a red dot. I don't need to let's say a red dot. It's a red dot. So red dots can have a battery life of up to like 60 to anywhere between, on the low end, like 50,000 hours. On the high end, 80,000 hours. And that depends, of course, at what setting you have it on, what brightness setting, right? The brighter it is, the shorter your battery life. I think we all understand that, right? Holographics, similar, but you're getting a lot less time. You're like, we're talking a few thousand hours, not tens of thousands of hours, right? So that's something you got to keep in mind. And also, red dots typically don't turn off by themselves, as where holographics usually do. Okay, like EOTechs and whatnot. But I'm still a big fan of EOTech. Obviously, EOTech is my preferred sight, my preferred optic. But in this case, something that's always on, because in my mind, if you're grabbing your truck gun, that means a situation has arisen and you need to solve it, right? Problem has occurred, solution needs to be implemented, and that solution needs to happen right now. And I don't want to be fiddling with a red dot that I need to turn on or off or whatever it might be, right? So, or turn on and adjust the brightness. Like I just need it to go. I just need it to be on and I'm running, okay? This is why I say it's always good before you go anywhere. And things change, you know, while you're driving, it could get darker out, clouds could come in, and now all of a sudden your optic is way too bright, right? But all I'm saying is, at least it's on. All I'm saying is dry fire. Get a couple of dry reps in before you go anywhere with your concealed carry, with your truck gun, if you're going to be traveling with it. And here's why. Because in that time frame, at least you have an understanding as to what your brightness is on your red dot. At least you have an understanding if anything's going to be getting in the way or hindering you from accessing your firearm, whether that be your truck gun when you do your dry drill with it, or your concealed carry and you might not have clothing that's working to your advantage, right? So again, practice all this stuff. And then whenever you go to draw in a situation that hopefully you don't find yourself in, whenever you go to draw and present your gun, you're not completely blown away by a way too bright red dot or holographic or whatever your optic might be, or it's so dim you can't even find the dot. That's a bad situation to be in, right? You want to be able to pick up your sights quickly and adequately, and that's why you need to practice that stuff. So now that I've gotten that out of the way, as far as the optics go, I talked about the holographic, EOTech being my preferred. Obviously, Vortex makes one as well, but let's be real. You know, I think the EOTech is just, it's the standard, right? And that's that. As far as red dots go, they're expensive, but damn, dude, the aim points are where it's at. RDS is also a good one. I think it is just the aim point RDS, right? The T2 is great, but that's like a $800 red dot. SIG makes some really great red dots as well, which again are a little bit more affordable. So there you have it. Long-winded answer, but I wanted to make that point. Okay, there you go. Tucci saying New Hampshire is the best state. Live free or die. I know it's a great motto, but gosh, damn, when you find out there's such thing as a view tax, it makes me get angry, all right? And I want to read the Declaration of Independence again. But there you go. I'm only going to take a few more here. I want to make sure I got all to all the super chats. So thank you guys that have donated tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in and everything. I'm going to spend just another couple of minutes, like 2 minutes. 2 minutes. It literally just turned 1 minute or 1 hour and 49 seconds streaming. I'm done at the 1 minute, 51 minute mark. All right. Because I did say an hour and a half, and I'm being proven a liar here. So let me get to the last super chat here. J Ham, what optic can compete with a 4X ACOG? Or is there something better in terms of reliability, etc.? If you could pick one magnified optic, what would it be? All right, clock's counting down. Look, the Trijicon VCOG is awesome. The first focal plane Trijicon VCOG. If I could choose only one, but then there's the Night Force, and then there's Leupold. And then there's Schmidt and Bender and all these other great optics. Okay. If I knew one that, like, without a doubt, it's gonna withstand the end of the world type of stuff, it'd probably be the VCOG. VCOG, first focal plane, perhaps 1 to 6. The 1 to 8 is great too, but area in which I'm living, most of the work I can handle in a 6 times 6 power magnification, right? So that's my answer. Final answer for that one. I'll get to the last couple of comments on the live chat because I want to say thank you all again so much for tuning in tonight. You guys mean the world to me. Quite frankly, I wouldn't be doing this if it weren't for such great support and the awesome feedback that you guys provide. So thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate you greatly. And would I buy my 4Runner again today, like at today's prices? I'd figure it out. I love my 4Runner, and I will probably never give it up, even though Kelsey tells me I should trade it in for something. But she's got a Jeep Wrangler, right? A 4-door Jeep Wrangler, like a 2017, something like that. So if we're talking reliability, even though mine has like 120,000 more miles on it than hers, Kelsey, if you're still watching, the 4Runner stay. Okay? All right. Okay. That's that. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you all again for tuning in. God bless you guys. And Tanner, have a midlife crisis and buy a Porsche. It wouldn't be my first Porsche. Just going to throw that out there. I am definitely one of the old school 911 air-cooled guys. So if I were going to do that, it'd probably be another air-cooled 911. Okay. All right. Now I'm done. Thank you guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Josh. Thank you all of you for tuning in. If you really had something you wanted me to see here and all that type of stuff, please go comment on it wherever you want to comment once the video is published and live, which will end here, or which will be here in just a second. I got to get to this one. I had a 1989 944 S2 that had the big old 3-liter 4-cylinder in it. Loved that car. Absolutely loved it. And then story for another time. But thank you, Jimmy. Appreciate that. Thank you all. Pew Pew Daily, I see you. Thank you again. Appreciate you guys. God bless you guys. Good night. And again, look out for the polls that I'll be putting up about which nights are best for streaming and which hat. Which hat do you guys like better? Or both? Let me know. God bless you guys. Good night. And don't forget, go exercise your Second Amendment rights, repeal the NFA, abolish the ATF, and get involved in your local communities and spread the word about exercising your freedoms. Invest in one of these and be on the lookout for the Patreon where I'll be providing one for you. Okay. Again, coming soon. Stay tuned. See you guys next time. And cheers.